Here we go. We are live. I believe we are live. Welcome to the Kendall MMA full card predictions and breakdowns for UFC 308. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly today because I don't have much time right now. Unfortunately, I had plans to make a whole video for this, and that kind of went out of the water today. So I'm kind of short on time here, but I want to make sure I get a prediction video out for you guys. So we're going to probably not fly through these, but I'm going to at least hustle up a little bit and not read as much chat as I normally do because it is going to be a hassle for me since I am on a time constraint. Sorry, but if you do like these predictions and you want to keep track of my predictions, you can go over to the Topology page, and you can find my Topology group, and you can join that group. And once we get some people in there, I will be offering the top prizes, or we'll be offering prizes to the top predictor of the week. My jaw already hurts. So I'll go ahead and link that in the chat right now. If you're watching this post live stream or whatever, and you're just trying to look at my picks, it should be in the link in the description as well. So let me post that in chat real quick. Let me find my group, and then we'll get banging on with this card. Great card today, or tomorrow technically. Getting a lot of heat for my picks and my prediction video for Holloway Topuria. People are like saying stuff. It's weird. I'll get into it once we get to the fight. It just is. I think people only read my thumbnails and they don't ever actually listen to what I have to say in my prediction video. That's just kind of how it goes. It is what it is, man. I can't really change that fact. But let me again pull up my group. Here we go. We have 21 members. When we get around 30 to 40, like I've been saying for the past few weeks, I will be offering those prizes. It's just going to be a while before we get some people in there. But I'm pinning the message in the chat. Maybe if you are watching this back again, if you can look at the live chat replay, you can click on that as well. Click the link. But if not, then go to the description. But let's just get in here. I don't care if nobody's in the chat right now. We're gonna dive right into this, and we're gonna fly through these. Kind of, maybe a little bit. We'll see. But starting off, let me pull up the screen. Our first pick of the night, our first fight of the night. You can see that pretty well. Let me zoom in 1 second. Our first fight of the night is Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Carlos Leal. Now, Rinat didn't really impress me with this fight versus Nicholas Dalby and the Leslie dos Santos fight as well. But he did beat Nicholas Dalby. But he almost got fraud checked, man. And he had another fight as well. I think, no. Never mind, no, because he smoked Kevin Lee in the first round pretty much. And then he fought Zaleski dos Santos, and it was pretty iffy for him in that fight. Which I think dos Santos is kind of a bad matchup for him in hindsight, honestly. Because a guy who was smaller, who can stuff takedowns, and who can threat submissions off of his back, who is a more crafty, older veteran, can make things pretty hard for Rinat. And so I don't think Carlos Leal is that same kind of Zaleski dos Santos, right? I don't think he's the same type of Nicholas Dalby, a guy who can go out there and maybe he could go out there and put it on Rinat, but again, I am pretty worried. I think Renat's still talented. I don't think he'll be anything too crazy in the UFC once he gets more higher ranked opponents, but we know with Rinat, he is aggressive. He'll go for takedowns, good grappling game for the most part. Sometimes he does kind of slow down. Now, I don't know how good Carlos Leal's cardio is, but I don't think it's going to be anything amazing since I believe this fight is on short notice. No, it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, he fought at LFA, though. This guy's talented, man. This guy's talented. You look like you were in Latin boy band. Sorry, my dirty headband is... I've been wearing it the past few days. I haven't washed it. I need to wash it. But yeah, if you're joining the chat, my fault, guys. It's going to be probably a quicker stream today. I'm going to fly through these. I'm short on time right now. But I'm sticking Rinat Fakhretdinov, probably by decision. Maybe he gets a submission, but I think Carlos Leal will be game enough tonight, get finished by Rinat. And I think what's up, Larry? I think the narrative that's going to be for this fight is that it's going to be another underwhelming Rinat performance, honestly. But I think he'll take the cake. I think he'll win this fight. I think he'll win against a Carlos Leal who has fought, I mean, good competition at LFA, but and at UAE Warriors as well, which I do believe is two good promotions. Fought at PFL, lost that fight to Sada Busai, is what it is. Like fighting at PFL, he's not fighting in scrub promotions. This guy isn't like a necessarily a huge scrub, but again, I am worried about the takedown threat and the pressure of Renat to back him up. But yeah, I'm taking Renat to win that fight. Moving on, Bruno Silva versus Ismail Nardiev. Now, from what I know about Nardiev, I don't know much actually, but it's more so on the fact that Bruno Silva, man. Bruno Silva is looking pretty cooked recently, man. I won't even lie to you. I mean, he's on a 3-fight losing streak right now. I mean, Chris Weidman, that fight was dumb because Chris Weidman poked his eye out pretty much and they didn't call it a foul. And then he gets a technical finish. They say technical decision, but I mean, he poked his eye out like a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, Chris Weidman did. But overall, like Bruno Silva has been looking old in his recent fights. You know what I'm saying? I mean, got put down by Brendan Allen, then submitted. I mean, getting put down by Brendan Allen isn't really the best look, honestly. And I think we've really seen a huge age of regression with Bruno Silva. When he fought Alex Pereira, we were like, okay, Pereira, he looked pretty decent in that matchup for a guy who's now on his way to being the best combat sports athlete of all time. So looking back at that, you kind of had a little bit of hype for Bruno Silva. I thought he eventually would be ranked, but I don't really think he has really much left in the tank right now, and it does worry me. Now, Ismail Nurdiev isn't this crazy prospect. Again, 23-7, but he's fighting at Brave, and Brave is a good promotion. I won't even lie to you guys. Brave is a good promotion. He's not the best thing I've ever seen in my life, but shit, he's just tough, man. This fight's really hard to predict. People are picking Silva. Do I think Silva's going to get back on track with this? I don't think so. It's also in Abu Dhabi, and Ismail Nurdiev is from the fucking Middle East. He's from Morocco, technically, but it is what it is. I'm going to take. Do I sway from the track of? I don't know, man. I just don't know if I can trust Bruno Silva until he gets a win. If Bruno Silva beats Ismail Nurdiev, then I'll trust him going forward a little bit more. But as of right now, I just don't know if I can really put much stock into Bruno Silva. It's not so. The reason why I'm picking Ismail, it's not so much on the fact that Ismail is talented and good. It's just how old and bad Bruno Silva has been looking his past fights. That's kind of my whole kind of take. But moving on of the card to Farid Basharat versus Victor Hugo. Now, Victor Hugo, I believe, missed weight by like 10 pounds. And so did Basharat as well. He also missed weight, but this was originally supposed to be a bantamweight fight, and Hugo missed weight by 10 pounds. Basharat missed weight by like basically a pound. So both these guys had pretty bad weight cuts. I don't know, man. Because I tend, like, again, Basharat had to cut at least 8 more pounds than Victor Hugo, which is a really big deal in MMA. It's a huge deal, and maybe that can sway you towards picking Hugo. But again, Basharat's always been talented, man. I know. So far in the UFC, he's been the better brother than Javid Basharat. It's just tougher. Bruno's getting beat up by old man Weidman even before the eye pokes, but still, like, that finish was stupid. Farid didn't miss weight. It turned into a catch weight right before weigh-in, so he chose not to cut the last pound. Okay. But still, I still a huge deal. I mean, my point still stands, man. This guy missed weight by 10 fucking pounds, which is ridiculous. He shouldn't win. I'm not going to pick him to win. If he wins because he misses weight by 10 pounds, then fuck him. Honestly, it's just stupid. Yeah, I mean, it sucks for Farid Basharat. I mean, but if he does win, he gets a lot of money from this. But overall, Farid Basharat is talented. Obviously the grappling, striking, like him and his brother are super talented fighters for the most part. Sometimes Javid can be a bit disappointing at times, but I think Farid so far has been maybe the better brother. I don't know, kind of, somewhat, a little bit. Now Victor Hugo, yeah, he's just Victor Hugo, right? Just kind of Victor Hugo. I mean, if he's honestly, when I think about this, if a fighter is missing weight by 10 plus pounds, something's probably wrong in your camp. Like something probably went horribly wrong for you to miss weight by 10 pounds. That means you didn't even try to cut the weight for the most part. Maybe you cut like 5 pounds, but missing weight by 10 pounds means either you're just super lazy or you might have a really bad injury going on. And I don't know. I don't think with Hugo missing weight by this much, I don't think he's going to be able to have what's in the tank to beat Basharat. Maybe he just was lazy and then he just smokes Basharat because he's 10 pounds heavier or just more heavier than Basharat. But I think when it comes to talent-wise, Free Basharat is just going to be better. These guys aren't like crazy finishers either, him and his brother. But I do think he does beat Victor Hugo, who is, more experienced, 25-4, has fought more fights in his career. But then again, it's a young, up-and-coming Basharat who's still undefeated, who's fighting in not his home country, but like a place that's going to root for him. So I'm taking Basharat. Moving on. Canadian Nzechukwu versus Chris Barnett. Now, I like Chris Barnett, man. He's a very funny guy. He's a great personality, but he's also obese. He's also really, really fat for a heavyweight. Also 38 years old. Been going through some issues, I believe. I think he pulled out of this fight or pulled out another fight for last week because the hurricane in Florida, I believe it took down his house. Then I think before that, he also pulled out of a fight. So it's been a pretty rough going for Chris Barnett in these last 2 years, man. Trying to get fights, just can't get one going. Gets this one rebooked for Canadian Nzechukwu. Good for him. I believe Nzechukwu's moving up. No, he's not. He's staying at heavyweight. No. Is he moving up to heavyweight? He fought Ovince St. Preux, Dustin Jacoby. Nzechukwu, he should win this matchup, man. It makes me kind of upset, the fact that Nzechukwu got KO'd by like a phantom elbow by somebody. I forget who it was. Maybe it was. No, I think it was Jacoby. I don't know. But whatever. Nzechukwu isn't terrible. Like, not the best. Sometimes his chin can be a bit worrying, but he showed a good pressure game. He took down Devin Clark, I believe, a good bit, or Kutalaba. Survived Kutalaba, which is not bad. For a guy who has a pretty iffy chin, surviving Kutalaba is not a bad feat, even if it was basically 2 years ago. If Barnett lands a spinning wheel kick on a guy over half a foot taller than him, he's goated, but he's probably getting KO'd. Yeah, that's the thing. Chris Barnett, getting into Chris Barnett, like, the only thing he has is like a spinning wheel kick. For a guy his size, for him to do that is very athletic. He has like a very fast spinning wheel kick, which is really impressive, again, for a guy his size. But that's really about it. That's kind of all he has. That's not what he really does. He's not really out there putting on technical master classes. Nothing veteran about him. He is 23. He has what is that? 31 fights in his professional career, and he's still fat, and he still gasses out. And he beat Jake Collier. Good job, man. But Collier had worse cardio than him, which is pretty abysmal in that matchup. It's been 2 years. Don't think he's changed much. Has to cut down to make heavyweight. I don't find Chris Barnett to be anything technical. I think Nzechukwu can go longer than one round. Actually, he's proven that he can go longer than one round. And so as long as Chris Barnett doesn't land a freaking massive, crazy wheel kick on a guy who is, oh my God, he's 5'9". Holy shit. A guy who, what is that? An 8-inch height difference, right? Am I wrong? 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I was right. 8-inch. An 8-inch height differential. If he can land a spinning wheel kick on him, dude's crazy. Dude's massively crazy. But I think Nzechukwu will not survive, but I think he'll go out there and he'll have a good first round. And then we'll see a Chris Barnett who's gassing out. And I think good old Canadian Nzechukwu will get a finish in the second round. Good old shit. Moving on. Wow, sitting right next to my name, unbelievable. You'll get one soon, Sniff. Abis Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. Now, Bruno Ferreira, I know he KO'd Obama, RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez. What, his debut? Was that his debut? Yeah, it was his debut. Lost to Ruziboev. Got KO'd by him. Beat Phil Hawes. Great job. You KO'd Phil Hawes. Welcome to the club, man. Everybody in the whole world could probably KO Phil Hawes. Dustin Stoltzfus, cool. Like, these guys aren't really good opponents. Now, Abbas, I know we like to trash on Abbas Magomedov because of the fact that he got, I wouldn't say exposed by Sean Strickland. Like, it was a jump up, but maybe he got fraud checked. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say if he got fraud checked or not because I don't think people believed in Abbas Magomedov from the very beginning. But he showed, at least in that first round, that he is technically good. Just his gas tank is kind of bad. Lost to Cal Baralho and kind of a, not like a crazy close decision, but like he for sure clearly lost to Baralho, but he didn't look as bad as he did against Strickland. You know what I'm saying? Beat Warley Alves. I don't know. What I'm trying to say here is that Bruno Ferreira is kind of carried by his power. He's very simple for the most part on the feet, nothing too crazy. I think Magomedov is more dynamic with his front kicks, with his striking. I think his cardio issue kind of really hurts him, but he can grapple as well. He took down Strickland for a little bit of time. Didn't control him too well, but at least he took down Strickland. Shows me that he has some talent there. Bruno Ferreira, again, he can be chinned as well, and I think Magomedov can go out there and probably get an early round TKO over Ferreira. I know, like, it sounds like it's Abbas Magomedov, man, but I think overall he's not the worst fighter in the world. He did lose to a guy at PFL that was pretty bad, I believe, forever ago. But, damn, people are picking Ferreira to win this matchup. A lot of people are picking Ferreira. I don't know. I think people like to shit on Magomedov a lot, Abbas a lot, man. And I don't really, I know why, but I think they also, when they do that, they do underrate him as well. If this fight goes past one round, they'll both have nothing for the rest of the fight. True. Imavov lost to Hawes, LMFAO. Imavov? Did he? KO Obama might get you Secret Service visit? Nah. I mean, we call him Obama. Ken Robocop is legit as fuck. I'm taking Ferreira. That was forever. No, that wasn't forever ago. It was what? Yeah, it was a year ago. Yeah, over a year and a half ago. But let's be real here. Like, RoboCop was fucking dominating that fight until he got KO'd, right? He was landing clean shots on Ferreira and then got countered and just KO'd him. Like, he has power, but I don't think he'll land clean. Because the thing about RoboCop is that he likes to be in the pocket. He likes to like bang it out and have wars back and forth. Abbas doesn't really have that kind of style. He's more on the back foot, more reserved than how a Rodriguez is. So I think it's a different style matchup that led to Ferreira being able to KO him. I don't think Abbas will do the same shit that, RoboCop did. His name is Robama, Gregory Robama. Hollis turned into Habib when he fought Imavov. Abbas is German. I mean, he's Dagestani, but he moved to Germany. I think when he was young. I'm pretty sure. The RoboCop win was a fluky Ferreira. Yeah, that's what I agree with that. I think it is a fluky win from Ferreira for the most part. But he still won, though. It's a good performance, honestly. But I'm taking Magomedov. I think he'll put on not a technical masterclass, but I think he will use his like front kick to the face and use like more weapons to confuse a Bruno Ferreira who really only uses his hands. Moving on. Miktabek Orolbai versus Mateusz Rebecki. Now, I forget which fight it was. It was his last fight versus Elsbrenner. I think he had trouble holding down Elsbrenner, but he has that sort of style where he's going to be stronger than you. He's going to hold you down. He's going to fucking knee the thigh. Like, Orolbai kind of has that fucking, Morab sort of style. And Rebecki just lost to Diego Ferreira. And, like, a really tough fight for himself, man. He got hit a lot in that matchup, but he survived for a longest time. But other than that, man, who has Rebecki really beat? He beat Roosevelt Roberts. Cool. He beat Loic Radzhabov. Cool. Probably his best win. He beat Nick Fiore. Okay. Whatever, bro. He's not fighting great competition. Elsbrenner is a tough guy to beat in the UFC. He's like a lightweight Oliveira. No, wait. Oliveira's lightweight. He's like a Walmart lightweight. No, not Walmart lightweight. He's like a Walmart Oliveira. Elsbrenner is. Beat Erdos Medic. by submission. Like, that's a great win on his resume as well. Other than that, not really too many credible names. But what's up, John Dong? Lowe's a decent win. Yeah, I agree. But I think Rollby has fought better competition so far. I think he will probably stall against the fence against Rebecca. Big dude for that's catch weight though. It is catch weight, which could be an issue for a Rollby. But if he's bigger, I don't know. Decent striking, not the best striking for a Rollby. Nothing too crazy, but he was able to land consistently on Elsbrenner, which I think is very impressive. Yeah, I just think a Rollby wins by decision here, man. The fucking, I'm not gonna say Neanderthal. That'd probably be bad. I don't know. A Rollby is good at following the game plan for a thought out Neanderthal. I was going to say Neanderthal. Benner is like a brawler Oliveira or Roll Goat. I don't like a Rollby too much. He kind of has that sort of Marab style sometimes, man. He will strike. No, I don't know. They're kind of very similar, aren't they? Him and Marab in the way they fight. Like, he will stall out a fight if he has to win. That's why I think he's going to win. The UFC rewards that kind of style, and I hate it. So, a Rollby by decision. Moving on. Up the card, Jeff Neal versus RDA Rafael Dos Anjos. Rafael Dos Anjos. I'm taking Jeff Neal, my lock of the card here, man. Probably by KO. RDA can be chinned as well. Jeff Neal, I don't care. I know he lost to Shavkat. I know he lost to Ian Gary, but guess what? This dude still has fucking hands of steel. I don't give a shit, man. He can rock people. Gave Shavkat all he could handle in their fight. RDA is 40 years old exactly. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, RDA. Lost to Gamrot, lost to Luque. Luque was able to like kind of like almost out grapple RDA at moments in that fight as well, which is crazy. Gamrot's Gamrot. It is what it is. I don't know. RDA with the underdog victory? I don't think so. RDA live dog. I think Jeff Neal has good enough grappling defense, and he has some of the slickest striking at welterweight, man. Sometimes he can get a bit down on himself, and I think it usually comes when he like misses weight. I think the worst version of Jeff Neal is whenever he misses weight because he just doesn't give a shit anymore and he's kind of down on himself. But he made weight. He pretty much almost put Luque out permanently. Like, he actually almost killed Luque. He has great boxing, great striking. RDA's 40 years old. Maybe he will go for some grappling exchanges, but I think we're going to see Jeff Neal stuff that. This might be a boring performance from RDA, but he can't be in too many wars. If he gets hit too much, I can see him going down. Again, he's 40 years old. 5-inch reach advantage for Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's kind of patient. He'll move around on the outside. He'll use his footwork a lot of the time. He'll stay at range, then he'll come in. I am worried for RDA getting hit. That's kind of how he got KO'd by Fiziev. I believe Fiziev just immediately in that 5th round just jumped at him with the right hand and knocked him out. I think Jeff Neal can do the same thing. He loves his straight shots down the pipe. I think having straight shots and being a good 1-2 kind of guy is the most effective game plan to knock people out in the UFC. Like, if you're good at straight shots, I think you're going to go far with your KO ability in the UFC. So I'm thinking Jeff Neal by KO, right? Like round 1, round 2, honestly. Already has like the most fight time in UFC history with like almost 9 hours. I mean, he's a veteran of the game, man. Like, he's still good. Like, he's still doing the damn thing. But honestly, on a 2-fight losing streak, lost to Gamrot, lost to Vicente Luque, where Luque almost out-grappled him. I think he's regressed a lot in these last few fights. Yeah, he beat Brian Barberena, but he has no fucking ground game. Lost to Fiziev. Fiziev was stuffing his takedowns a lot of the time, then KO'd him. Like, if Fiziev is KOing you in round 5, Fiziev has a terrible gas tank, and he's KOing you in round 5. I think Jeff Neal can KO him in any round, honestly. Beat Moicano. That was on short notice, though. That was a short notice Moicano 2 years ago. So, yeah. Fiziev hit him with the left hook, I think. I'm pretty sure it was a right hand. Here, I'll look it up real quick. Fiziev versus RDA KO. Images. No, it was a hook. You're right. It was a hook. I'm thinking of the after shot. It was a left hook. You're right. Never mind. I'm wrong on that one. But still, I think Jeff Neal. Still, my point still kind of stands. I still think Jeff Neal will find a shot to land on an RDA and hurt him. He can be hurt. He has been hurt in several fights before. He's getting older in his career. I think Jeff Neal will win. RDA is still joined at 155. He's a different fighter at 170. I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, he's not cutting as much weight. But again, he's 40 years old. Taking so much damage in his career on a 2-fight losing streak. So is Jeff Neal, by the way. But, I mean, Jeff Neal didn't take really any damage versus Ian Gary for the most part. And Ian Gary's just confusing. Like, he's on the back foot, moving around a lot of footwork, a lot of side-to-side movement, just doing a bunch of different shit. It's just hard for him to get going. RDA doesn't fight like Ian Gary, though. So, I'm taking Jeff Neal by KO round 2. Moving on. Ibo Aslan versus Rafael Sarkiera. Did I say his name? Now, this one I don't know. I want to take Ibo Aslan. But I don't know. This one is confusing to me. Because I don't find Ibo Aslan to be too crazy. Like, he beat Anton Turkali, however you say his name. Whatever, you KO'd him. He's trash. Paulo Hanato hasn't fought in 6 months. Coin toss IMO, I agree. From what I've heard from this guy, he's pretty decent, actually. Like, I've heard he's pretty decent. 11-0 prospect. So is Ibo Aslan, 13-1. It's tough. Aslan's kind of reckless at times. Yeah, but he's kind of chatty for that, ain't he? He's kind of chatty for that, you know? I just don't know for this fucking fight, honestly. Thoughts on 165 division? They should do it, man, honestly. I want to see a new champion, honestly. At least somebody can be a 165-pound champion. Switching weight classes at every fight at 40 is a bad sign. I agree. I don't know who I'm going to take here, man. It's just fucking a tough one. Ibn Aslan is crazy wild. He's powerful, though. I think he has gyno. He might be on some sort of roids. I don't even know. What's this guy's reach? Doesn't say it on topology. Oh, shit. It's my fault, guys. My fault. Rafael Sequeira. Reach. What's up, Faded? How you doing, man? I've been chilling, my brother. How you been? What's his reach? 76 inches. Okay. All right, so he has a 1.5 reach disadvantage versus Ibo Aslan. Aslan's not that technical. Dude, I really don't fucking know. Ibo Aslan. No, I'm taking Rafael. I'm taking Rafael Sequeira.
Are you gonna be done?
Yeah. Why?
I'm gonna take out the trash. Go shower.
Okay, then go shower.
She's on the way.
Okay.
She left like 5-10 minutes ago.
Well, I'm not gonna be done for a minute.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Yeah, you can search your results.
Sorry. I gotta fly through these real quick, boys. I gotta fly through these. Honestly, I'm really short on time now. I'm taking Cicada KO round 1, maybe round 2. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Charles Bullet versus Armin Petrosian. I want to take Petrosian so bad in this matchup. Honestly, I feel like Petrosian's a bad matchup for the most part. I won't even lie to you guys. He's really good on the feet. He outstruck G-Rod. Not G-Rod. Why am I saying G-Rod? Obama, Robocop, Robama, whatever you want to call him. He outstruck him. Charles Bullet has looked iffy in his last few performances against Mikhail Zajic and Antonio Tricoli, whatever. He just clinched up with him for the most part. Then he KO'd him. Beat Bruno Silva, though. It's tough. Get out grappled. Like the worst part about Petrosian's game is that he can be out grappled. And would Charles Bullet do that? So who do I think is better on the feet? You know, I think it's pretty even on the feet here, honestly. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Petrosian went out there and got it done, but I'm gonna take Charles Bullet to get it done because I think he's just slightly better on the feet than Petrosian, just like very much slightly. I think his low kicks are a bit better. I think he incorporates more. I think he sees things coming better. Um, yeah, I mean Petrosian is not bad either, man. He can put on a good performance versus Charlotte Bullet here. It's a tough matchup for himself, but I'm gonna take Charlotte Bullet, get this one done. I think he just is a little bit better on the feet for the most part. Moving on, Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. Um, Dan Ige to me has to be a certain type of fighter, right? Dan Ige has to be the guy like who is maybe not the best grappler, um, like Andre Philly, uh, like Bryce Mitch, not Andre Philly, sorry. No, like I don't know. I forget what I wanted to say about this matchup. Like the way Dan Ige fights, he can beat guys who have like bad takedowns, or not the best striking, like but guys who can take him down can do well against him. You know, guys who have bad gas things like Diego Lopez. I just think Lerone Murphy's going to mix it up too much, man. I think he'll mix it up like how TKZ did against Dan Ige. TKZ was able to go out there and get the body triangle and lock it up, get takedowns on Dan Ige, control him. I can see Lerone Murphy doing the same exact thing. He'll have a more balanced game plan versus Dan Ige, and I think he can find a way to expose that. Do I see Dan Ige chinning Lerone Murphy? No, I think Murphy's good enough on the feet to not get flat out chinned by Dan Ige. Love Dan Ige, but it's kind of crazy. Yo, it's KSI. What's up, KSI? I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows. Moving on. Sorry, I have to go quick, guys. I have to go quick. I'm sorry. If I could go longer, I could go longer. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. All right, boys. Here comes my hot take of the week. I'm taking Rakic. Now you might be asking me, Kendall, why Rakic? It's Ankalaev. He's Dagestani. He's from like Russia. Fuck that shit. I don't give a damn. I'm taking Rakic by decision. Here's the thing about Rakic, right? Rakic has great low kicks, amazing low kicks, awesome low kicks. Ankalaev, terrible low kick defense, awful. Got his legs chewed up by Jan Blachowicz. At one point, Blachowicz had him on skates. Had to resort to grappling to beat Blachowicz. I think Blachowicz is more technical and probably throws better leg kicks and sets him up better than Rakic, but Rakic has awesome low kicks. Johnny Walker, whatever. Johnny Walker's low kicks just aren't really that effective, right? He can land them, but there's not much sting behind those low kicks. Rakic packs a way bigger low kick punch, whatever. It's redundant, but you know what I mean. He packs way more power into his low kicks than what Johnny Walker does. And Walker was consistently landing low kicks on Ankalaev. And Ankalaev was landing his own back on Walker, which I think he did outland him with his own low kicks. But I think the kicking game of Rakic is a lot better than Johnny Walker. And I don't see Ankalaev being able to resort to using takedowns versus Rakic. I think if Ankalaev, typically what happens, right? If things are pretty iffy on the feet for him, he will go for takedowns. And if it does get iffy versus Rakic, and he does go for takedowns, I don't think he'll be successful in getting down Rakic to control the fight. He might have to clinch more than often. He might have to clinch more often than normal. But again, I think that lends itself to Rakic. Rakic is hittable. Maybe Ankalaev could chin him. That's possible. He could go out there and chin him. But then again, like Rakic needs to have a fun performance here for him to get a title shot versus Pereira. So we might see a more aggressive Ankalaev than we've ever seen, and that does worry me. Did Jan take down and control Rakic? No, that was the opposite. I believe Rakic took down Jan. Unless I'm forgetting. Sorry, unless I'm forgetting something. No. No. But back to what I was saying, like the way Ankalaev fights, he might be more aggressive than ever. He might have to like go out there and try to get a KO over Rakic, which I don't think would be a smart game plan. But I can just see Rakic outstriking him for 3 rounds, landing the better low kicks and just winning based on that and stuffing the takedowns if Ankalaev goes for him. So taking Rakic by decision. Moving on. Makes this quick, boys. Makes this quick. Whitaker versus Chimaev. Now, obviously, we know Chimaev. He's the best first round fighter of all time. He's the best first round fighter in the fucking whole entire UFC. When it comes to getting finishes in the first round, when it comes to getting a 10-8 and being dominant in the first round, Chimaev is fucking that dude. But it's just after the first round, that's where I kind of question how good Chimaev really is. Now, he pushed through against Gilbert Burns, which was very impressive, right? He won the first round predominantly versus Gilbert Burns, lost the second, got dropped, and then came out and pushed through in the third round. He's going to need to do the same thing versus the same thing versus Whitaker that he did against Gilbert Burns, but this time it's not Gilbert Burns in front of you. It's fucking Robert Whitaker, who will land a lot more, who will punish you a lot more. Gilbert Burns is more of a hooky type of guy. A hooky type of guy. What kind of word is that? More of a guy who throws a lot of hooks. Whitaker likes to jump in, likes to dive in. And if Chimaev can't react fast enough because he's gassed in the second and third round, I think he's cooked. So, again, if you think Chimaev wins by first round TKO, fine. Perfect. Whitaker's chinny. Got chinned by DDP. It's a perfectly reasonable deduction you can have for Chimaev to win this fight. But I'm going to trust in Whitaker to get it done. Get it done by decision. I think he'll lose the first round dominantly. Honestly, this might be a draw. Might be a draw low-key. But I think Whitaker will lose the first round dominantly, as Chimaev fights usually go. And then come out in the second and third round and do Whitaker things and style on Chimaev, who is tired, who's gassing out from doing so much damage to Whitaker in the first round, from taking him down, spamming takedowns. And the one thing about Whitaker, too, is that Whitaker has great grappling defense, right? I think we're going to see Chimaev have to really put in a lot of effort to get down Whitaker. And I think it's only going to make him more gassed in that second and third round, right? That's Chimaev, man. Chimaev is just nonstop. I'm going to come at you, grapple you up, take you down, get a first round finish. And I think with Whitaker, it's not going to be the first takedown. This won't be like Kevin Holland, where he just took down Kevin Holland and choked him out with an anaconda choke. No, he's going to have to chain grapple Whitaker to get him down, and that will only make him more gassed out in that second and third round. I'm taking Whitaker by decision. He'll, again, lose the first round dominantly, then come out in the second and third and put on an absolute Whitaker masterclass. Moving on. Ilia Topuria versus I'm fighting Saturday night, man. Saturday night, baby. October 26th, Saturday night, baby. Okay, Topuria versus Max Holloway. Made a whole video about this. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel like I did before. Topuria by decision. Again, I have a whole video up on my channel if you want to watch like the whole 15-minute breakdown of this, but I'll give you the nice little clip notes for you guys. Holloway, I think, has found a way to be more patient in his Gaethje fight. He's found a way to kind of take a step back. Now, obviously, he's still very active and he puts on a pace, but I don't think he's out there doing normal Max Holloway things, right? I think Holloway, I don't know. That's kind of a bad thing to say. Holloway's good. Holloway's really good. And maybe he could outstrike Topuria. But I think in these rounds, it's going to be a lot closer than how it was against Gaethje, right? I think these rounds are going to come down to kind of not come down to, but I think these rounds are going to be pretty much not too widely separated by strikes. And what I mean by that is I believe that maybe Holloway does outland Topuria, but it's by maybe 3 strikes, 2 strikes, 4 strikes. And in those first 3 rounds, you're going to see Topuria land like big haymakers that kind of wobble Holloway or get his eyes wide or make him kind of take a step back. We're going to see Topuria land some massive straight right hands. He might step through to catch Holloway circling out. We're going to see basically Topuria just land the better shots in the first 3 rounds. Now, after the first 3 rounds, I can see Holloway's pace starting to catch up to Topuria. Topuria's getting a little bit tired, not gassing out, but a little bit tired from the pace of Holloway. Holloway's having more success in his boxing combinations. And I think in that 4th and 5th round, we're going to see Holloway kind of be like, kind of styling on Topuria. But I think it'll be a little bit too late. And I think we're going to see Topuria win based on the first 3 rounds, and Holloway lose a pretty controversial decision. That's my whole take. Ilia by controversial decision that's only controversial to delusional Max fans. Yeah, honestly, man. I think Topuria drops him at least one time in this fight. I think he does knock down Holloway. But Holloway has good recovery, good chin overall. Holloway overall, man, he just leaves his chin out there too much to be hit, man. It does worry me. Like I don't like Holloway throughout, like when he fought Yair hit him a ton, right? When he fought Arnold Allen hit him a ton. Volk outclassed him in 3 fights, you know. He leaves his chin out there to be hit way too often, and I think Topuria hurts him at least once.
He's here.
Okay, I'm leaving. But guys, with that being said, I have to leave. I have to get out of here. Again, I'm stuck on time. Sorry, guys. Those are my picks for this week. Again, if you want to see them real quick, go to the Topology page. It is pinned in the chat. I'm sorry. But thank you guys so much for joining here, man. Thank you, Toad, Mr. Toad. Thank you, Paradox. Thank you, Woe Black Betty. Thank you, Faded. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, I believe Sniff was in here. Sniff, Eric. Thank you guys so much, man. But I have to dip out of here, guys. See y'all later, man. Peace. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the card. Peace out. I'll be there at 11, 12, whatever, Eastern time, whenever the card starts, a few hours before the main card. See you guys later. Peace.